My name is Nolan Leibovitz, and I'm the senior rabbi here at Valley Beth Shalom. I want to welcome everyone to the program this evening. It's a privilege and an honor to welcome so many community partners, Valley synagogues, organizations, and families into our newly remodeled sanctuary of tomorrow. On behalf of our president, Eileen Berman, and our board of directors, it's our pleasure to offer a space for the community to unite this evening in support of the State of Israel. We need to support one another in our grief and pain during Yom Hazikaron and hold one another in our appreciation and joy during Yom Ha'atzmaut. We begin this evening by acknowledging the heavy price the Jewish people have had to pay for a modern Jewish nation state. With a heavy heart, we welcome an incredible cantorial rendition of Naomi Shemer's Lu Yehi. Written in 1973 after a devastating war, Shemer wrote Lu Yehi as a liturgical anthem for war. Lu Yehi, may it be, may Israel always be.
In the middle of the Passover Seder, we make a sandwich according to the tradition of the sage Hillel. We combine the matzah and the maror and charoset. And in one bite, we fulfill all the mitzvot, all the commandments of the Passover. But it's more than just fulfilling a commandment. It's about imbibing a flavor. The flat and dry matzah, the bitter, painful maror, and the sweet, cool charoset. And we are filled at that moment with a flavor, a unique flavor, that is both bitter and sweet. The Passover is both bitter and sweet. It is a remembrance of a moment of slavery, of genocide, of oppression, of helpless humiliation, and the celebration of redemption, of liberation, of an open future. Bitter and sweet. If you wish to know who we are as a people, you must imbibe this flavor of bitter and sweet. Ours is a history filled with innumerable moments of sadness and destruction, of exile, of oppression, of persecution. And ours is a people that will never let go of hope. If you would know, if you would know the state of Israel, if you would know the heart of the people Israel, you must taste the bitter and the sweet together. You must taste the remarkable miracle of a people that rises from the darkest depths of despair, of Shoah, of genocide, of Auschwitz and Majdanek and Treblinka and Lublin and Warsaw, to rise and build a state, a place of life for children and children's children. The miracle of resurrection, of the dry bones of Ezekiel's prophecy coming to be. You must know that miracle. And you must also know the terrifying price that was paid for that miracle. To walk along the lanes of the cemetery on Har Herzl in Yerushalayim and read the gravestones, 18 years old, 16 years old, 20 years old, father, mother, brother, sister, beloved child. The one who was the only one to survive his town in Europe, who came on a boat and was handed a gun and died at Latrun. The one who was part of a great village in Tunisia, who came on a boat and lifted a gun and fought for Jewish freedom. The one who came from America, a teenager from the valley, who was inspired by a youth group, who lifted a weapon to protect a Jewish dream. The children, so many children. To know Israel is to know the bitter together with the sweet, al hadvash ve'al ha'oketz. And so this time of year, we celebrate. But more than celebrate, we sandwich together the bitter and the sweet. Before we can lift the flag and scream our joy and celebration over Atzmaut, independence, we must remember all of those, greater than 25,000, who stood to defend this remarkable dream. Liot am chofshi be'artzenu, to stand proud as a proud and living people in our own home, our own land. Yom Hazikaron begins in Israel with a siren and a moment of silent prayer. Would you please rise? seated. We are grateful this evening for the support of the entire Jewish community. It is our privilege to call forward to the Bima the chair of the board of the Jewish Federation of Greater Los Angeles, Orna Wollens.
Wow, how emotional it is to hear that siren, even vis-a-vis a video and not being in Israel. But this is the next best thing. On behalf of the Jewish Federation of Los Angeles, I extend my gratitude to this beautiful Valley Beth Shalom congregation and to Rabbi Leibovitz and Rabbi Feinstein for hosting this oh-so-emotional Yom Hazikaron, Yom Ha'atzmaut gathering. Thank you. JFED LA works with an incredible consortium of caring, thoughtful partners, and I thank you all. We stand in awe of the heroes who gave their lives for Israel, and we take joy and reassurance in the indomitable spirit and resilience of the Israeli people. At this dark and uncertain time, we seek light. And look at this sanctuary filled with over 1,000 of you cheering, supporting, loving Am Yisrael. You give us light. Together, our life-affirming, our Israel-affirming, our Jewish-affirming work is a collective act of hope that illuminates, connects, and sustains us all. Am Yisrael Chai. And now it is my honor to welcome a dear friend to all of us and to the Jewish Federation, Rabbi Sarah Horonsky, President of the Board of Rabbis.
Friends, thank you. Thank you for being here this evening and holding tightly to Am Yisrael. I've just returned from March of the Living. There are no words for that experience except to say that when you march, the pollen is flowing through the air and dandelions are flowing, and it's heart-wrenching because it feels like ashes are falling upon you. And yet, standing with some 6,000 other individuals with Israeli teens, lifting in voice and in song the entire community, reciting words of El Maleh as survivors stand and hold that moment. Your heart is just opened as full as possible. And we go from this place of remembrance to this place of hope, singing Hatikva with survivors of the Shoah who also survived October 7th. When you gather in this space, you give us that same awe, the awe of remembrance, the awe that we are together and that there is hope and there is so much to celebrate. But first, we must remember, and we are very, very grateful to the clergy and the staff of Valley Beth Shalom for hosting us this evening, to the Jewish Federation for their support, and to the amazing clergy of all of these community organizations and synagogues who have joined us this evening. To light our first candle in remembrance, we invite Orna Wollens, Chair of the Board of Jewish Federation, LA.
It's on, and now I light this candle in memory of all those who lost their lives establishing the State of Israel and fighting for Israel's independence. May their memories be a blessing. Biyachad nenatzeach, together we will be victorious.
Amen. To light our second candle, I invite forward Rabbi Josh Aronson, Rabbi Cantor Allison Wissett, Rabbi Eric Rosenstein, Rabbi Bruce Raff, Rabbi Cantor Lily Bloom from Temple, Judea. This beautiful new space has amazing air conditioning, which is a gift for our second candle.
We light this candle in memory of all those who fought in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. May their memories be a blessing. B'yachad nenatzeach, together we will be victorious.
Amen. To light candle number 3, we invite forward Rabbi Stuart Vogel, Rabbi Richard Camrus, Rabbi David Mendelson, Rabbi Adam Schaefer from Hamakom.
Candle in memory of all those who fought in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. May their memories be a blessing. B'yachad nenatzeach, together we will be victorious.
Amen. To light candle number 4, we invite forward Rabbi David Woznicka from Stephen Wise Temple and Rabbi John Hanish from Kol Tikva Temple.
We light this candle in memory of all those who fought and lost their lives due to acts of terror.
May their memories be a blessing. B'yachad nenatzeach, together we will be victorious.
Amen. To light our 5th candle, we invite forward Rabbi Kira Stein and Cantor Sarah Zerbi Berida from Temple Beth Hillel, Rabbi Lana Zilberman Salaway from Congregation Orami.
We light this candle in memory of all the victims murdered on October 7th. May their memories be a blessing. B'yachad nenatzeach, together we will be victorious.
Amen. For our 6th candle, we ask Rabbi Bill Kaplan from the Shalom Institute and Jen Stock from Club Z.
We light this candle in memory of all the soldiers who have fought in the war in Gaza and lost their lives since October 7th. May their memories be a blessing. B'yachad nenatzeach, together we will be victorious.
Amen. If you're able, I'll ask that you please rise for El Malei Rachamim.
חיילי צבא ההגנה לישראל, אשר מסרו נפשם על קדושת השם ועל שלום הארץ. יסתירם בסתר כנפיו לעולמים, ביצרור החיים את נשמותיהם. אדוני הוא נחלתם, בגן עדן תהא מנוחתם, וינוחו בשלום על משכבותם ונאמר
You may be seated. On October 7th, Blair and I were awoken in the early morning by the buzzing and ringing of our cell phones as we began to witness unthinkable videos and horrific images. We checked on all of our friends in Israel through WhatsApp messaging. All of our friends answered that they were safe, that their families were fine, all except for one. Blair received a message from our friend Rachel Goldberg-Polin that Hirsch was missing. I came to Shul that morning, heartbroken and hopeful, and I talked about my family's personal relationship with Hirsch. I wrote an article about Hirsch and the issue of captivity for the Jewish Journal. Hirsch's story has, in so many ways, become a story for our entire community. Hirsch's story has become iconic for many throughout the world. John and Rachel have spoken to Israeli leaders, dozens of heads of state, to the president, congressional leaders, the United Nations, and the Pope. Each and every day, they fight for headline space, for consciousness, for continued attention to this global hostage crisis. When Hamas released a proof of life video featuring Hirsch on April 24th, we stirred with joy and devastation all at once. I reached out to John and Rachel to offer some words this evening for all of our benefit. It's an honor to welcome my dear friends, John Polin and Rachel Goldberg-Polin, to our community.
Yom Hazikaron and Yom HaAtzmaut, Memorial Day, Independence Day, normally super meaningful days for us. This year, just a blur. It feels like since October 7th, there's been no markings of day or night. So it's been one long day. And unfortunately, it feels like we've been in this sad state of memorializing people since October 7th. And unfortunately, we don't feel independence. But we do want to make sure to acknowledge our friends, Rabbi Leibovitz, the entire VBS community, and say thank you so much for all you've done so far.
We have felt your love and support and your prayers, and that is so important, and it is so impactful. And I don't know how to explain it. We feel it, we need it, and we are just so deeply grateful to you. So please keep sticking with us. Stick with thoughts about Hirsch and all of the hostages, and let's keep going until we get everybody home.
ישראל, אחיותינו, כל בית ישראל.
הנתונים בצרה ובשביה, העומדים בין בים ובין ביבשה.
ירחם עליהם ויוציאם מצרה וירחם
ומאפלה לאורה ומשיבולה
Vehishamda, a passage from the Passover Haggadah, gives us hope that in every generation, though evil arises and tries to destroy the Jewish people, we are still standing today and will continue to stand strong. It is a prayer for continued protection. I originally wrote this melody as a lullaby for my 2-year-old daughter. Since October 7th, my heart, along with the heart of every Jewish parent, has been aching. Among those stolen from Am Yisrael are the children. To all the children of Israel who remain in captivity, tonight we dedicate Vehisha Amda to you. May you be delivered from evil soon. May you see the promise of your future. May you know your strength and the enduring strength of our people. And may you feel our presence tonight, standing by your side and waiting for you to come home.
John Ondrasik is a songwriter and performer known as the platinum-selling, Grammy-nominated Five for Fighting. In the 2 decades since his first major single, Superman, It's Not Easy, hit the stratosphere, the artist has both evolved and come back around full circle. Ondrasik has penned major hits including the chart-topping 100 Years, The Riddle, Chances, World, and Easy Tonight, which have earned tens of millions of streams and place him as a top 10 hot adult contemporary artist for the 2000s. In 2022, John released Can One Man Save the World? the song inspired by the courage of President Zelensky and the people of Ukraine. He asks the nation and the world to stand up for core values of freedom and justice. Proceeds from the single and its video benefit the NGO Save Our Allies and further its mission of providing humanitarian aid to Ukraine and Afghanistan. Recently, Androsik released the song, "Okay," along with a heart-wrenching documentary music video that speaks to the Hamas attacks on Israel on October 7th, 2023, and the cultural aftermath both here in the United States and around the world. Androsik explains on October 10th, the mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, made a powerful speech decrying the celebrations of the Hamas massacres across New York City. His words of conscience, "We are not all right," begin my new song and my music video, "Okay," which addresses the barbaric Hamas October 7th attacks in Israel and the global fallout that resulted. Such is the theme of the song. In short, we are not okay. As soon as I saw the video, I knew that John belonged in the program this evening. I want to thank David Renzer and the Creative Community for Peace for helping me to arrange this performance. 1 month ago, on April 13th, John performed at Kikar Chatufim, Hostage Square in Tel Aviv, for hostage families, the Israeli public, and media at large to bring attention to the hostages still being held in captivity. The Los Angeles chapter of Hazimir Choir will join John for "Okay," and then he will transition to Superman in memory of all of the soldiers who have fallen since October 7th. Please join me in the honor of welcoming John Androsik and thanking him for all that he's done and all that he continues to do for Israel and the Jewish people. John Androsik.
Thank you. Let's welcome our Hazimir Choir. Come on, guys. Where are you? Where's our choir? You guys want to sing? Choir. Paging the choir. Somebody's running. Well, the choir will be here in a minute because I'm not going to sing without them. All right, here we come, the director and the choir. While we have the choir set up, thank you, Nolan. That was very kind of you. I am John. I am a Valley boy. I grew up in Granada Hills. I went to Kennedy High School. I went to UCLA. I lived on Encino Avenue for 10 years down the street. And I know some of you. Some of you are longtime friends. And I'm very honored to be with you and to sing with this amazing choir. I'm told that a month ago they were singing at Carnegie Hall. Is that right, guys? How was that? Pretty awesome? I've never sung at Carnegie Hall. I'm not intimidated, but we'll see. So yeah, we're gonna sing "Okay" for you. The song is called "Okay," but the theme is "We are not okay," because we are not okay. As Nola mentioned, I wrote the song after October 7th. It took me a couple months watching the decline of all our moral institutions and the insanity of the world. I'm so sorry this is happening to you. It makes no sense. The world has gone crazy. When Israel shared my video on social media for the world to see, I got a very small sense of what it's like to be Jewish. I'm not Jewish. You don't have to be Jewish to condemn the evil that is Hamas. You just have to have a heart and a brain. It shouldn't be hard. But we are where we are. And so when I sing this song, "We Are Not Okay," I mean the we, not you, all of us. You guys ready? All right. This is a time for choosing. This is a time to mourn. The moral man is losing, forbidden loss for long. I don't understand how you can look yourself in the mirror. I don't understand how did that blood fill up your eyes. We are You hide behind your babies. You hide behind your kin. You see LA has rabies. They'd Holocaust again. I don't understand how you can look yourself in the mirror. I don't understand how did that blood High five, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. What an amazing choir. Very special. To sing that song at Hostage Square was surreal, as you could imagine. I met with many of the hostage families. You know, the cliche, no words, there are no words. I had my son Johnny with me. One of the hostages that just saw Omer, I sat with his father. And my son was the same age as his son, sitting across the table, and I couldn't stop thinking of that could be me, that could be any one of us. But I was honored to do that. I also learned a lot about Israel. I'd never been to Israel. The rabbi talked about bittersweet. I saw both, but I also saw an incredible fortitude and courage. Before I played OK at Hostage Square, there was an announcement before the performance. Unlike any gig I've ever heard, I played thousands of shows. The announcement was this: in event of missile attack, please take cover, put your hands over your head. And here's the crazy thing. Nobody left. Not one person left. There were thousands of people there. I wanted to run to my hotel and hide under my bed. Nobody left. And then after the performance, I walked off stage, and one of the leaders of the hostage forum said, "Hey, John, I need to talk to you. You need to be in your hotel by 11 o'clock. They're closing the airspace." And it was about 8:30. And my first thought was like, why 11 o'clock? Why not now? And so I had some friends with me. A couple are here. I'd like to recognize Rick Hershot from the AJC, his wife Sue. Where are you, Rick? Are you? Stand up, Rick. Rick Hershot over there, yep. Yeah. My trip to Israel does not happen without that man and a few others. So I was with my entourage of friends, and I'm like, all right, guys, we have to go to the hotel. 11 o'clock, the airspace is being closed. And they said, and I'm not joking, they said, but we have a dinner reservation. I'm like, what are you talking about? We have to go to the hotel. We have to go to the safe room. And they're like, it took us 2 weeks to get this dinner reservation. That's what Israel is. That's what the fortitude, the courage, the ability to find joy. At 11 o'clock, we were in the hotel, and that was when Iran launched the drones. They were still at the bar. It's crazy, but it's beautiful. I'm just going to tell you, before I play Superman, what I went over to Israel to tell many of the people. It wasn't the only reason, but that was kind of my purpose in going. Because many people over there, and I know people here, feel like you've been abandoned by the media. That's because you have been. Many of you feel you've been abandoned by the arts. That is because you have been. Many of you feel you've been abandoned by your own leadership in this country. That's because you have been. But let me tell you something that I think reflects on the geopolitical state of the world that you don't see on the college campuses, you don't see on the news. You might have heard of a fellow singer of mine, a young woman named Eden Golan. Have you heard of her? Oh, wow. Amazing. Just making sure. So I'd never heard of Eurovision. Though yesterday I paid 20 euros for 20 votes for her, so whatever that was. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. But anyways, what a hero, what an amazing, she's a heroic person. She is. She's a heroic, historical person. But I think something we should think about is what happened at Eurovision last night reflects what's going on in the world. The musical elite, the media, the judges of Eurovision, they all reflect kind of the oppressor, woke, dogma mentality. That's why you see virtually no musical artists speaking out. They're cowards. But they reflect that. But what happened last night when the popular vote came in? What happened? You know who were in the top 3 of the popular vote? I'll tell you 2 of them, Ukraine and Israel. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Israel doesn't have a very large population, does it? So it wasn't just a bunch of Israelis voting for Israel. I actually did the math, 1%. 1%. So why did the whole world, 15 European countries, even though the judges, who today said they wouldn't vote for Israel because genocide, why did the whole world vote for Israel and Ukraine? Because the world understands good versus evil. And you are on the right side. So just remember that. The vast majority of America has your back. The vast majority of the world has your back. Now, they call it the silent majority. But that we have to change, and that's what I'm working on. Because if the silent majority is silent too long, they become the silent minority. So we have a lot of work to do. I'll play Superman for you right now for all the items. You know, while I was in Israel, I had a chance to visit Sheba Hospital. And I met with one of the troops, Aaron. Aaron had been shot 4 times. And I wish the media in our college campuses and faculty would meet Aaron. Because I asked Aaron a very simple question. I'm like, Aaron, what happened to you? He says, well, we were going door to door. Hamas had infiltrated civilian housing, and my commander got hit with a sniper. And I had to run across and save him. His friend, his commander, was killed. He got shot 4 times. And I said to him, Aaron, why do you do that? You could raise that building. You guys could just blow it up with a tank. You don't have to risk yourself. You're taking casualties. You're taking casualties when you don't have to. Why do you do that? And he said, because we're not like them. We believe in life. Stand to fly. I'm not that naive. I'm just out to find the better part of me. I'm more than a bird, more than a plane, more than some pretty face beside a train. It's not easy to be me. Wish that I could cry, fall upon my knees, find a way to lie about a home I'll never see. It may sound absurd, don't be naive. Even heroes have the right to bleed. I may be disturbed, won't you concede? Heroes have the right to dream. It's not easy to be me. Up and away from me. Now it's alright. You can all sleep sound tonight. I'm not crazy or anything. I can't stand to fly. I'm not that naive. Men weren't meant to ride with clouds between their knees. I'm only a man in a funny red sheet, digging for kryptonite on this one-way street. Only a man, a funny red sheet, looking for special things inside of me. Inside of me, inside of me. It's not easy to be.
Please remain standing. When there are no more words and there are no more songs, there is only prayer. Yehi Zicharam Baruch. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. V'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'gala uv'izman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach leolam ulmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal, shemei dekudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'yimru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu
Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu Israel, Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. The blasts of the shofar carry us through the most pivotal moments of our spiritual year. They also mark the transition between the grief and sadness of Yom Hazikaron and the promise and celebration of Yom Ha'atzmaut. Avi Bialo, a Los Angeles native, holds a Master of Music degree from the Juilliard School and a Bachelor of Music degree from the Oberlin Conservatory. His career includes performances with the Phoenix Symphony, Los Angeles Philharmonic, and the LA Jewish Symphony. We are fortunate to have Avi sound the shofar for us this evening. The blasts symbolize the year we have endured. We will sound tekiah to announce our covenant as one people. I will call 7 blasts of Shivarim to remember the massacre we endured on October 7th. I will call for Truah, which will include a set of 132 blasts to remember 132 hostages currently held in captivity in Gaza. And then we will hear a long Tekiah Gedolah that will symbolize our never-ending sense of hope. Tekiah. Shivarim. Teruah. Tekiah Gedolah. You may be seated. Reshet Sifatei. No, that was a joke. We are lucky to have the Consul General of Israel to the Pacific Southwest, Israel Bachar, joining us this evening. Israel Bachar was appointed Consul General of Israel to the Pacific Southwest in May 2023 and assumed the post in September in the before. Having developed his career in the private sector, Mr. Bachar is one of the most respected and sought-after marketing and political strategists in Israel. He has decades of experience in Israel's ever-shifting political landscape, and his background serves him well in his role as Israel's senior representative to the Pacific Southwest region. Mr. Bachar has also vast experience beyond Israel's political domain. He has led global campaigns and advised NGOs and multinational corporations in the fields of telecommunications, finance, and energy. Mr. Bachar is a regular contributor on Israel's most popular news shows. Born in Beit Shan in northern Israel, Consul General Bachar served in the IDF's Golani Brigade, graduated from Bar Ilan University, and earned his master's in communication at Fordham University in New York. It's my honor to welcome Consul General Bachar.
Before I start my speech, I think it's one of the most beautiful scenes to see 1,000 Jews in unity, praising Hashem, loving Israel, and coming together. So, brothers and sisters, Achai v'achyotai, with the blast of the shofar still vibrating in my bones, I want to say, the Jewish people live. The state of Israel lives. As we stood at the foot of Mount Sinai, we received the Torah with the sound of the shofar. And today, we are coming together with the sound of the shofar, the sound of independence. We are a free people. And we are free because of the sacrifice of the soldiers that we just commemorated. And we cannot ignore the pain in our hearts as we fight for the freedom of our beloved hostages. And together, we will never stop to secure their release. We will bring them home. This is the tightrope we tread between joy and sorrow. And even in this darkest of times, I am determined, no matter how hard, to celebrate. It is more important this year than ever to mark and recognize the rebirth of the Jewish homeland. To celebrate the miracle that is our homeland, to celebrate the love and unity of the Jewish people. And this year, we celebrate the heroic citizens who risked their lives to fight Hamas and save hundreds. In Israel, on Independence Day, torches were lit throughout the South by heroes from October 7th, sending a message of resilience and duty throughout the country. And unity is also in this room. I've been told there are more than 30 synagogues, organizations, schools, rabbis, and cantors here tonight. I'm looking out and I see families, parents, students, grandparents, community, לדור ודור. So let us now begin celebrating the rebirth of the Jewish homeland. Don't be afraid, we can celebrate the Jewish homeland. 70 years of a modern miracle, from 600,000 Jews in 48 to 7 million today. My message to you tonight on behalf of the State of Israel. We need you. We appreciate you standing proud and strong in your love for Israel. I assure you, we see you, we hear you, and we know together nothing can defeat us. We see the battles you are fighting every day, and this community remains unbowed. Together, we will never succumb to the poisonous onslaught of hatred and lies. We will triumph as a people, we will rebound together, and we will never surrender. The State of Israel is here to stay forever. And I want you, all of you, to join me. It's also a celebration night. And we can celebrate tonight with all the pain. So please, everybody, join me and say with me, Am Israel Chai. Thank you very much.
Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael.
Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael 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 Chai.
Dr. Noreen Green is the founding artistic director and conductor of the Los Angeles Jewish Symphony. She's a renowned conductor of Jewish music, and we are blessed to have her as a longtime VBS member and as the conductor of our VBS community choir as well. Tonight we welcome members from the adult choirs of all of our participating synagogues, and Dr. Green will be conducting.
Al
In Sefer Bamidbar, in the 4th book of the Torah, the Jewish people, we have wandered for 40 years. We're tired, we're hot, and we're awfully kvetchy. We finally reached the wrong side of the Jordan River. Moses is excited to gaze into Eretz Yisrael for the first time. And it's precisely at that moment that 2 tribes decide to approach him and to announce their change of plans. The tribes of Reuven and Gad explain that they know that they're supposed to enter the promised land with everyone else. But you know, they like the schools and their jobs and their sports teams. It's comfortable where they are. After 40 years of walking in circles in the hot desert sand, they don't want to enter the promised land. Moses loses his mind. God becomes furious. And Moses asks a simple question. Ha'achechem yavou lamilchama ve'atem teshvu po? Will your brothers go to war inside the land while you live here outside? So they reach a deal. Whenever the Jews inside the land of Israel need help, the Jews living outside the land of Israel will show up and help. My friends, we are the inheritors of that ancient promise. For most of our lives, thank God, Israel has not required that kind of help. Then on October 7th, we watched a scale of barbaric violence that we had never witnessed, especially in color, in real time, beamed into the cell phone in my pocket, as well as in the pockets of my young children. And in all of our collective kishkis, we sensed the question of Moses. Will our brothers go to war inside the land? And will we show up? This year, Jews in Israel needed our help. And you know what? We showed up. We contributed money, we sent clothing, many of us traveled there and volunteered ourselves on the front lines. We made good on our ancient promise. Now, as the war continues, as diplomatic negotiations continue, as the groundswell of anti-Israelism and anti-Semitism builds around us, how do we continue to support? We do what we always do. We look to the texts of our ancient tradition. Israel's Declaration of Independence doesn't only represent for us the establishment of a modern Jewish commonwealth. It's not merely a bureaucratic memo. It is the newest addition to our canon of holy documents. To prove the point, the Declaration was inscribed on parchment, like our sanctified scrolls in the ark behind me. For this reason, in Hebrew, we call it Megillat Ha'atzmaut, our Megillah, our scroll of independence. Envisioned by David Ben-Gurion, Moshe Sharet, Rabbi Davidovitz, and others, the text was negotiated, decided, and confirmed. And after all that time, they no longer had enough time to have a scribe write the text properly onto a single piece of parchment. So, in the ceremony that we all know, while holding a large piece of parchment for photos, Inside the parchment, Ben-Gurion is reading off of a hidden piece of paper where the document had been typed only hours before. Why was it so important for Israel's Declaration of Independence to be written on parchment in our scribal tradition? The founders knew that it should be treated as a holy document, not only holy for Israelis. Like the Torah itself, the Declaration of Independence was intended to carry sanctity for the entire Jewish people. It was intended for it to be viewed as holy by us. It calls on us, inside the land and outside the land, to transition from objects in history acted upon to become actors in history with strength and conviction. It demands us to recognize our ancestral ties to that land and Israel's role in our promising Jewish future of tomorrow. It offers us a new commandment. The commandment of the Declaration is, "You shall be strong." Zionism offers us a modern philosophy for Jews to find strength in ourselves, to rely on ourselves, to support one another. Israel teaches us how to respond to crisis. Israel is by no means perfect. Anybody can recognize that. Yet after thousands of years of Jews running away, we now run toward the fire. Israel has reinvented the Jewish spirit to now include strength. This year, Israel has felt wobbly at times, oscillating between fragility and strength. So many from all over the world have stepped forward to fortify her. The truth is that Israel's very existence has always relied on the efforts of many from its very conception. The responsibility of bringing the negotiated final wording of the Declaration of Independence to Independence Hall belonged to one of our founding fathers, Zev Sheriff. Sheriff and his secretary, Dorit Rosen, carried the paper out of their office into the streets of Tel Aviv on Friday, May 14th, 1948. They looked for a taxi. As Shabbat approached and every single Jew was already at Independence Hall waiting for the ceremony to begin, they began to sweat. They began to get nervous that the wording of the Declaration would in fact not reach its destination. Finally, they saw a taxi in the distance approaching. And they walked into the center of the street to block its path. And miraculously, especially if you've seen taxis drive in Israel, miraculously, the taxi stopped before hitting them. The driver looked angry, annoyed, nervous. They jumped into the back seat and informed the driver, "Today is your lucky day. You're driving the Declaration to Independence Hall." The driver, who was a newly arrived Jewish immigrant, turned around and let out a sigh of relief. "Thank goodness," he replied. "I thought you stopped me because you knew that I didn't yet have a driver's license." That's who we are. That's us. That's our holy task. We are the nameless driver in Jewish history. It's our job to deliver the Declaration to the masses. It's our role to carry the message far and wide. It's our mission to scream it from the rafters with courage and conviction. When our children have to face anti-Semitism at high school sporting events and on college campuses, what symbol do they use to embody a message of pride and strength? They grab onto the Israeli flag. They drape it over their shoulders. They paint the Star of David with 2 lines on their cheeks. They step into the cosmic cab and take the wheel, and they deliver the simplest of declarations again and again and again. Whether we live inside the land or outside the land, we need drivers to convey the message of strength and pride, Zionism and Judaism. Each year we set this day aside to celebrate our modern declaration. We're in charge of our own state. We're the custodians of our own future. As Jews, we'll show up when we're called upon. And we've never been prouder to be Jewish. Spread the message of the Declaration throughout the world as an expression of Jewish strength and support, pride and pleasure. By doing so, we fulfill our ancient promise to Moses. We fulfill our ancient commitment to one another. Israel will never be alone as long as we've got the wheel. Now it's up to us to never let go. Happy birthday, Israel. Yom Huledet Sameach. We love you.
זוהי זכותו הטבעית של העם היהודי להיות ככל עם ועם עומד ברשות עצמו במדינתו הריבונית אשר תפתח לרווחה את שערי המולדת לכל יהודי ותעניק לעם היהודי מעמד של אומה שוות זכויות בתוך העמים. לפיכך נתכנסנו אנו חברי מועצת העם, נציגי היישוב העברי והתנועה הציונית, ביום סיום המנדט הבריטי על ארץ ישראל. ותוקף זכותנו הטבעית וההיסטורית, ועל יסוד החלטת עצרת האומות המאוחדות, אנו מכריזים בזאת על הקמת מדינה יהודית בארץ ישראל, היא מדינת ישראל. מתוך ביטחון בצור ישראל, הננו חותמים בחתימת ידינו לעדות על הכרזה זו. היום הזה, אייר תש"ח 14 במאי 1940.
The land of Israel was the birthplace of the Jewish people. Here their spiritual, religious, and political identity was shaped. Here they first attained statehood, created cultural values of national and universal significance, and gave to the world the eternal book of books. After being forcibly exiled from their land, the people remained faithful to it throughout their dispersion, and never ceased to pray and hope for their return to it and for the restoration in it of their political freedom. Impelled by this historic and traditional attachment, Jews strove in every successive generation to reestablish themselves in their ancient homeland. In recent decades, they returned in their masses, pioneers and defenders. They made the deserts bloom, revived the Hebrew language, built villages and towns, and created a thriving community, controlling its own economy and culture, loving peace, but knowing how to defend itself, bringing the blessings of progress to all the country's inhabitants, and aspiring towards independent nationhood. Accordingly, we hereby declare the establishment of a Jewish state in the land of Israel to be known as the state of Israel. We light this last candle as a beacon of hope for our future. B'yachad nenatzeach, together we will be victorious.
This next piece is one of the most beloved Israeli songs of all time. We are delighted to invite the youth choirs of many synagogues from around the valley to please make their way to the bima, along with all of our participating cantors and soloists, to lead this song. When Naomi Shemer first wrote Yerushalayim Shel Zahav, it represented 2,000 years of the Jewish people's yearning for Jerusalem. Just 3 weeks later, the Six-Day War broke out and Israel regained control of the Temple Mount. Naomi Shemer created a new ending for the song, turning it into a song of triumph. May we all experience that triumph again of good over evil, light over darkness, and safety in our home. Please join us.
צלול קיימים וריח עורני נישא ברוח המים עם כל פעמונים ובצר למטלם ואבן שבויה העיר אשר בדד יושבת ובלבה חומה ירושלים חזרנו אל בורות המים לשוק ולכיכר שופר קורא בהר הבית בעיר עתיקה ובמלרות אשר בסלע אלפי שמשות צורחות ושוב הרד אל ים המלח בדרך יריחו ירושלים
Please join us in a sing-along of 4 beloved songs from Israel, beginning with Bashana Haba'ah from our youth choir.
תורתנו, לא תיפול כעת רוחנו מסביב בזה של חרבות. ויונה תפרוס כנפיים, התקווה בשנות 2000, עונש זה לשיר ברחובות.
Sorrow, better times will come tomorrow, and the shining sun will fill the sky. Rolling down our fears before 2,000 years. Those battles are
Our nation Israel will never fall. We're all together, no one is alone. To our soul, and soon our dear ones will come home. Am Yisrael high. We stand here proudly, we are one and we are strong. Am Yisrael high. Because our spirits are united in our faith and in our song. Kodesh Baruch Hu Shomer Aleinu, Ki en lanu od medina, Taseh Shalom ושתי עיניי או נישאו לאור רבים חוכי אך גם פחי ולפניי שנים רבות מספור אני שואל ומתפלל טוב שלא אתה עוד הכתיבה עוד דרך מזמור מטוב וטוב כמעיין מאז ועד עולם אני שואל ומתפלל
Please join me in thanking our amazing musicians and vocalists this evening here on the Bima. We want to thank our incredible youth choirs, our future, their beautiful young voices that give us hope. We want to thank the incredible conductor Dor Kamenka and the Hazimir Choir, LA chapter, for your beautiful music. Thank you to Dr. Noreen Green and the adult choirs of the Valley. And thank you to our incredible musicians. We have Ori Zur on piano, Leah Zager on violin, Daniel Feldman on drums, and musical director Daniel Reichman on guitar and directing our ensemble. And of course, a big, big thank you to my friends, colleagues, cantors, and cantorial soloists from our participating partner synagogues. Thank you so much for joining us this evening and lending your beautiful voices.
We also want to thank all of the synagogues who partnered with us this evening and all of my colleagues, rabbis sitting here this evening who showed up and supported this event from across the valley. Thank you all for being here. I want to thank the leadership here at Valley Beth Shalom who heard this crazy idea and said, go for it. The President, Eileen Berman, and the entire board of directors, thank you very much for supporting this. I want to thank two special people this evening. Without them, this evening would not have been the same. I want to begin by once again thanking John for being here and performing tonight. And when we assembled this sanctuary of tomorrow, we needed a talented person from the industry who was half devoted to the synagogue and half part crazy to want to work with us like this again and again. We found our man in the incomparable Steve Perlman. I want to thank Steve. Steve, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for everything you did tonight. And I want to thank all of you for showing up and continuing to show up each and every day. Wake up tomorrow and do one good thing for the state of Israel. Wake up the next day and do one more. Every day, wake up. Wake up and do something, because that's what the mitzvot are about, is about actions. And so I'm going to end this evening with an action that's going to speak volume. Cantor Rafi and I are going to take a selfie with all of you in the background waving your Israeli flags. And I'm going to send this to all of my Israeli friends, and I'm going to tell them you're not alone, because there are Jews throughout San Fernando Valley who love you and support you. And so here we go. keep waving those flags because we conclude this program with Hatikva.